Greetings again from Lake Johnson. This is NC State Dendrology. I'm standing here with this small tree. It has, you might notice it's got kind of a sinuous shape. It's kind of crooked. That might tell you that it's an understory tree that grows through the woods. This tree is one that I always think of the bark as dark black and very smooth. So this is Styrax grandifolius. A former name is Styrax grandifolia. So the name was changed to have the specific epithet match with the genus in the Latin way of things. And it's growing throughout the woods here at Lake Johnson on this rather mesic site. And so as I'm walking along in the springtime, I might actually notice this because it has these beautiful reflexed white flowers with little reflexed petals. So it's a really beautiful tree in spring. This time of year, I might notice it's sinuous, a little grove of sinuously growing trees with very dark gray, almost black bark. And then these leaves, which are pretty, they're pretty nondescript, right? They're simple. Let me get this here, right? So they're simple. They are alternate. You can see there's just one leaf per node. And they're smooth, they're entire, so they don't have a lot of distinguishing features there. They have, they're pretty thin and deciduous. And one thing I do notice about the leaf base, and this is a characteristic that always works, okay, so if you look at the leaf shape, right, I might describe it as, here we go, there's just one. I might describe this leaf shape as orbicular or rounded, so it looks kind of like almost a perfect circle. But if you notice, the very end, right, so the base of the leaf as it comes in, you could say this is an obtuse leaf base, right? So it's forms greater than a 90-degree angle. And while most of the edges of the leaf are round, it does kind of blunt off and have straight-sided, their leaves become straight-sided as they go to the base. I'm looking for a better example of that here, but that's something that you might notice about Styrax grandifolius, that it has this. So it's bigleaf snowbell, right? Grandifolius means large-leaved, and it's in the Styrax caceae, which is the Styrax family. As I said, it's got, really pretty, keeps its leaves in kind of layers in the woods. Here's another leaf where, I'm gonna break this one off, where you can see that it's an orbicular leaf, but then it's kind of blunt, kind of blunts off and comes to an obtuse leaf base. This one is actually a little bit fuzzy, so when I said it was glabrous before, that was wrong. It's actually a little bit fuzzy on the underside of the leaves. Another thing you might notice when you're looking at this species in the fall are the buds. So if I look at those carefully with my hand lens, I might notice sometimes there's two buds, and that's because you've got a leaf bud that's underneath there as well as a flower bud for the following year. And that's something you're gonna have to look at up close in the woods. Find one of these on your own. These plants do like these mesic sites. The stems are just a little bit hairy. And so this is a really lovely understory tree, doesn't get to be very large. Has really pretty white flowers in the spring, and that is Styrax grandifolius.